see, I've been doing this 13 years nonstop. I left my 9 to 5 in 2010. I have not worked, but some people just not realizing me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I was okay with being behind the scene. So for 10 years, I was behind the scene, and I did not want to be in front of the scene. Right? So I like to do the work.
Yeah.
And so a year and a half ago, my wife said, jump in front. And so I jumped in front because I was helping build people to 7 figures, 8 figures, but their integrity wasn't there. And when your integrity ain't there, I don't want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
Because I got 4 values, and we got a family creed. Number 1 is integrity. Number 2 is unity. Number 3 is courage. And number 4 is legacy.
We got to unpack that. We got your family values. This is what you're instilling in your family.
Yes.
This is beyond the content. This is beyond the money.
Yeah.
What's those 4 values?
Number 1 is integrity.
Okay.
We'll never sell our integrity for no opportunity in the world. Number 2, unity. We will never do it by ourselves. We will always do it together. And anybody around, you don't got to be blood to be family, but we're going to do it together. And number 3, we're going to have the courage to always speak up and never mute our voice no matter what. No matter if it hurts, no matter if we'll never mute our voice. So we'll have the courage. And number 4 is every seed that we plant today ain't for today. It's for 20 years down the line. We're building all of this for our family and our legacy to eat from.
My goal is to help coaches and entrepreneurs turn their mind into money, teaching them how to take what they know, package it, market it, sell it, and automate it to make a massive income and massive impact, even if they don't have a lot of followers on social media.
If you're watching this video, you're about to make a whole lot of money. Welcome back to the Monetize with Marcus podcast. Our goal is to show you how to turn your mind into money. What does that mean? Nobody knows what it means, but it's provocative. No, the goal is in the infopreneur space is to show you how do you take your ideas, information, and knowledge that you have and teach someone else how to do what you do so they can impact others. Well, here's the amazing thing. Whether you're buying clothes, shoes, or cars, it's nothing more than someone packaging their ideas. So in the infopreneur space, how do you learn how to package, market, and sell your thoughts and ideas to be able to help someone else and generate revenue? Well, that's the goal of the Monetize with Marcus podcast. Now, in today's episode, I get a chance to interview phenomenal friend and great guy, the king of content. He focuses on showing you literally how to grow your business with content. Now, in today's age, everyone's trying to create content, but what's the difference between the person who posts something and you get crickets? You're like, what? Your mama in the comment like, well, that's my baby. Keep going, keep on, keep it on. Versus someone who goes viral. Well, this person today has the skill to show you what content should you create to make a massive impact. Now, here's why I love who I'm interviewing today. I watched him from afar long before I knew him, where I watched him create not just content, but movies. This was 6-7 years ago. This before y'all was pointing at screens and doing reels and TikToks and doing a bunch of crazy stuff, embarrassing yourselves, all right? He was billboards all around the city, known for content, and from the day that we connected, here's what I love the most, one of the most genuine people, has every reason to be cocky, but he's not. He's confident and has a high level of influence and a high level of integrity. My brother, my friend, Dontell the King.
Man, my guy.
Content.
My guy. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate you for having me here.
Man.
Like, this is a blessing. Like, when you gave me the call, I'm here.
Yeah.
No excuses.
Yeah.
No traffic gonna stop me. I'm here.
And listen, we both live in Atlanta, so you already know if you're in Atlanta, traffic is a real thing.
Yes.
Only in Atlanta can something that's 7 minutes be 35, 7 miles be 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60.
100%. 100%.
Man, so we got to dive in. I was just recently, I was so impressed. I was bragging on you, so I got to say to your face what I said behind your back. You invited me to be a part of your conference recently.
Yes.
And you had a content boot camp. I was so impressed for a multitude of reasons. It was excellent. It wasn't something thrown together. You got to excuse my language, but that's how I talk. You didn't do a conference that just allowed a group of speakers to run the train on the audience. Where people put together conferences now, and it's just a list of speakers. There's no rhyme or reason. It's not structured. The way I was treated by your team, your staff, it was on time. Yeah. You didn't feed them some random sandwiches, no. You took them to a steakhouse, and from top to bottom, I walk off stage, I got a gift bag, I got a fly sweatsuit. Just every detail was on target. They got a photo shoot that came with it. Let's dive right in talking about the Content Boot Camp. What's the vision behind it? Why did you put it together?
Yes.
What's the goal of it?
Well, the Content Impact Bootcamp is really to help entrepreneurs create impact using their content, right? And so how you said, like, I've been to some of those conferences where they just throwing everybody on the stage just to say it, and I'm like, I don't like that. I feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, even being in the audience for them, I feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And so I said, well, like me and my guy Runway, right? We'll go to the room and sometimes we'll feel bigger than the room because it'd be a pitch fest.
Yeah.
Or it's just like, wow. And so I said, I want to create my own room that I don't feel too big for. And I want to give people real value, real information, tangible things that they can use in this moment.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do this because I ain't never did an event before, but I said, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
And so literally I set the date in November. I said, I'm going to do it February 24th to the 26th. I set the date. And then for me, I'm like, I'm one of the people, when I set a date, I always stick to the date. So the first thing I do is go lock in the first thing I need. So I went to go pay the hotel and lock in the hotel, which I should have worked around it a little better because I didn't know I could negotiate in my contract. So I kind of got taken advantage of, but I learned now. But I was like, let me get this idea out of my head, so let me lock it in. And so I just like, I want to give people the real. And so each one of the speakers, nobody actually knew they was on the event together, because I reached out to each one of y'all individual, because y'all are authentically y'allself, and y'all not just speaking, y'all really teaching.
Yeah.
And so everybody was mad at me because it's like, people see you throwing an event, they like, I want to be on it. I said, you don't match the message.
Ooh.
You don't match the message. You're amazing what you do, but you don't match this message.
Yeah.
And every single one of y'all matched the message. But first of all, like, when you came in, I said, okay, Marcus, okay. I should have stayed working on my slides a little longer. right? I said, hold on, okay. I see how y'all playing. Every single person was extremely powerful, but extremely giving. And not only the stage part, y'all stayed and y'all built with the people. I think that was the biggest takeaway, because it's like you really got to build with the people in the room, because 95% of the people in the room flew here and drove here. These are not Atlanta people. Yeah. So for every one of y'all to show up, even the days y'all didn't speak and pour into, I'm thankful.
Man.
I'm thankful.
But here's why I was impressed. Not just the event. It was 3 days. Yes. Content Bootcamp, 3 days, and literally a bootcamp from the morning all the way to the evening, and every night. Let's talk about, you rented out an entire place to film content. Yes. What was that? Like, why did you do that? So for those that don't know what we're talking about, let's dig into like elements of your event I hadn't seen present in other people's events.
Yeah, so I rented out, I wanted my people to actually shoot content. See, a lot of people go to an event and they don't walk away with nothing. Yeah. They walk away with a book full of information that they'll never use. Yeah. And that ain't how that happens. And so I said, okay, well, it's content impact. So what would I want to do? So I rented out the Atlanta Selfie Museum, which is $600 an hour, and I think I rented it for 5 hours, right? And so
carry the one minus the two, $3,000,
right? Because I wanted them to have an experience, and I wanted them to create content. Yeah. And then another thing is we did headshots, right? Because a lot of business owners' branding is trash, because they attempt to do it the cheap way, but it's like, and I personally do it. And I love to do it, so I personally did the time so they can see what it feels like working one-on-one with me. Yeah. So I personally did it, and not put nobody else in position to do it.
Rent out a selfie museum. After teaching them how to create the content, you rented out the museum so they can create the content. Yes. You did headshots for every one of them. Yeah. Coupled with, I saw the mixer and on down the line, so a party that went on. Yeah. You rented out the steakhouse. We was only people in there. Yeah. And everybody had filet mignon, filet mignon, salmon, you name it. So it wasn't chicken tenders. I saw the ticket price. You invested in them, because just the headshots and the content would have been worth whatever it was. But you're talking about 3 days, and I know the caliber of speakers were there for 3 days. Why do you care so much about putting this in place and investing back into this group of people like this?
Leaders build leaders, right? And I'm tired of people getting taken advantage of. And so it's like, we got the power to make a difference, right? And for me, I say this, like, the pandemic was for like the business, with people starting business. It was for the credit people. It was for the real estate people. It was for all of these Turo, Airbnb, all those people. But post-pandemic is for the creatives. So it's our time now to really empower our people. And so how can we empower our people if we ain't giving them the tools? If we holding the tools, if we want to have a leash on the tool, let me bring you back. Nah. If God gave me the ability to have this tool, but he also gave me the ability to reproduce this tool. So if I give you the tool, it don't take from me. Yeah. I still got my copy. And so my whole goal is just to build with the people for real, because we need more leaders. If we're going to be entrepreneurs, we got to be creative entrepreneurs, because entrepreneurs is just a person with an LLC. Creative entrepreneurs are entrepreneurs that got a purpose that's bigger than them. And when you got a purpose that's bigger than you, you'll do whatever it takes to reach it.
Oh, you talking that talk now, boy. Yeah. Ooh, can I get an amen? Here's, bro, we got to go backwards, right? Yeah. You're not no person that has the level of passion that you can hear in your tone, the level of vision that you can hear from the details of it. And we'll talk more about the event and the level of vision that was included in it. Nope. You don't have that type of vision, that type of passion, unless you suffer. Yeah. Right? There has to be something you went through. Every entrepreneur has a I didn't have enough money story. So like, how did you get into content? How did you become this passionate? How did you get this good at it? In terms of not just, when people hear content, they think just pull out a cell phone. But I'm talking about from you doing actual production, movies, photography on down the line. Like what's the beginning of your journey?
Content saved my life. You know, at 13, you know, I was a kid running around in the streets, right? And so I was attempting to be a rapper, and God, he used that for me to build relationships, not build a single, right? But literally, it was a guy, he was working on our mixtape cover, and when I was 13, he was moving too slow. And so I personally reached out and said, hey, I mean, you're kind of moving too slow. Can I get the program that you're using? And the guy still didn't give us the mixtape cover, but he gave me the program, and it was called Photoshop. And so at that moment, I stayed up 24 hours creating a graphic. And I'm like, whoa, this is kind of fun. It was trash, but it was fun, right? Right? And so literally since the age of 13, I have not stopped. But every day after school, because I used to run around doing, I'm talking about shooting up stuff, doing all types of crazy stuff. But then I'd be wanting to come home and do some graphics. And then sometimes I'd stay in the house on the weekend to perfect the graphic. And so for me, I really believe content saved my life. You know, because I'm a kid. My mother was addicted to crack cocaine. My daddy got killed when I was 1. So I'm a real project baby from the project, crack baby, like really that. And so my upbringing allowed me to realize how important life is. And the reason why I'm here today, because somebody else and other people poured into me that was not blood, and they saved my life. So their impact made me who I am today. And so my whole purpose is to pay it forward, because there's so many people out there like me that's dope, but just don't have a way to actually execute the vision. And so, so I'm all in, but content saved my life. So since the age of 13, I have not stopped for a second, a moment, without, like, I've been doing content since 13.
Wow, from 13 years old. So what is that moment that stands out in your head? From 13 to now, that's a long journey. Yeah. What's the moment that of course, when you get into it, you fall in love with it, but what was the moment that you realized, I'm going to do this forever?
Man, I think I didn't never realize the moment. Everything just kept stacking, because I started off as a graphic designer, then I went to a photographer, then I went to a video director, then I went to a movie director, right? And so it's just like everything just kept building on top of each other. And then I look back, I'm like, dang, I spent a lot of time doing this, right? And then I'm like, but I love doing it. And it's like I can be a billionaire and I'll still be in the field shooting content. Yeah. Because I'm not driven by money. I never started this about money. I didn't even know you can make money. I did it because I wanted to help people.
But you have made a lot of money doing it.
Well, God gave us the resources, right? Because you need resources to help your people. So it's just like, but I'd be very cautious. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because this time and age, it's like we get lost, especially with social media. And so as a young black male, I make sure I don't get lost. And I did get lost a couple times, like, yo, I want to do this like that person. Then I realized, man, my uniqueness is my greatness. And so I just stick to my thing.
My uniqueness is my greatness, which I absolutely love. I hear from 13 all the way on. You mentioned from doing graphics to doing photography to video director. How did these opportunities come to be? How did you stumble on this thing that leads to this thing? Here's what I always tell people. I get a lot of people that ask me about finding their purpose or finding their thing. And I always tell them that most of the time when we're looking for purpose, it's hard. You won't always find the house, but you'll find the neighborhood. So the goal is to get in the neighborhood of purpose. And when you get in the neighborhood, you'll stumble on the house. Like where you know that this is my home, this is where my gift belongs, this is my tribe, this is where I develop. How did you find that for yourself? How did you got in the neighborhood when you started doing graphics? How did you go to movie director? Like what were some of those critical moments? How did they come to be?
I mean, the number one thing is graphics. I was doing the graphics for my high school and stuff, so I was doing their graphics, and then I got accepted to go to a school here called SCAD, and then I couldn't afford it, so I went to Art Institute of Atlanta, and while I was there, I wanted to make my graphics better. See, because it's one thing, like you getting people pictures and stuff, and the quality, pixel, it messed up. And so I said, well, if I get the camera, I actually can shoot the graphics to make my graphics more commercial, because I wanted commercial graphics. And so I switched my major, and I was one of the last 4 people in Art Institute history to get a camera in my package, right? And so that camera, it was, at that time, was a 5D Mark II. And so it was like, oh, this camera do video. Oh, I wasn't thinking about it. And then at that time, I had a close friend, like one of my best friends was named K-Camp. And so this before he blew up, and so I was able to practice shooting music videos with him and my other cat.
For those that don't know, K-Camp the rapper.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
cool.
and so I was shooting all his content. And then literally at that moment, I helped put together a song called Money Baby. And when I put that together, we went from not being able to afford cheeseburgers to our whole life changing. And so I got focused, and that was 2013. And I was homeless at that time because I got kicked out of school. And I got focused on building artists at first. And so I built a lot of artists, and then I was like, artists, they egos, and artists only get me artists. My whole goal was to shoot movies. And so in 2017, I just said, you know what? I'm going to follow my dreams. And I retired shooting music videos on my top, and I started shooting movies. And I clearly realized it costs a little money to shoot movies. Yo, so I got to shoot in one of my biggest movies I had shot, and I was in Forbes, I was in all of this stuff, and I hired 70 people, and my ribs started touching after, right? And when my ribs started touching, me and my wife, like we was eating ramen noodles for like 6 months, you know, but she always followed my dream, and anything that I did, she was the backbone. So with all our movies and music videos, she was the producer. So she found everything, set up everything. That's why it was easy to move into the event space, because it's the same structure basically. And then literally, I shot a movie, and then I was like, man, I gotta finance this better. And so I started understanding how money work and how America work, and being able to, my whole goal now is to become the bank for creatives, and I want to start my own banking institution, so creatives never have to sell their vision to Hollywood. They can always create it. And so that's what I've been working on for the last few years, is really building that back infrastructure for that.
Bro, you got something super powerful and special. A couple things you mentioned that I've got to dig into. To go from I'm homeless to music videos, we making millions, to then risk it all and pivot again and say, I want to do movies. Most people aren't willing to take that risk.
Yeah.
Like if you've been homeless and you make a few dollars, you think twice. What do you think was in you that made you willing to risk it all, to pivot from something that took you from homelessness to making money, to then start all over again in a new industry of movies?
I don't value money, right? So it's not the money, it's my vision. Like I got a big vision, and it's up to me to sacrifice what I gotta do to build it for my legacy. If I don't do it now, it might not ever happen again. And so everybody before me, my mother, my grandma, nothing, they didn't do it. So it's on me now, and I cannot let anybody on earth deter me from my vision. And so I'm gonna always do my vision, because my vision got the people first. Other people got they self first.
Yeah.
And so I make the sacrifice so I can get the people to the next level, because if I can help the people, it automatically help my family.
What do you think is one mistake you see creatives make in the early stages of their journey that keeps them from being able to see success or to grow? What do you think are some of those mistakes that they make, and what can they avoid?
I wrote a book in 2018 called Broke Creatives Don't Make Money. Learn the business of being a creative. They don't know business. See, they think it's just the creative side, but creative side is only 10%.
Yeah.
It's 90% business. So most creatives think that their thing itself is going to do the job. And so they never understand the business side. And so they waiting for an opportunity instead of becoming their own investor and creating the opportunity. And that's the biggest thing. Create your own opportunity. Become the business. Understand where you want to go so you can get there. Otherwise, you're going to stay stuck creating and your stuff is dope. That don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? You can have the dopest thing. If nobody knows, they know. But you can have the most trash thing and you just understand this system on the back end and now you the biggest thing.
Wow, so you're saying that there are people who are frustrated because they're being consistent, putting out content, but they don't have a business around it. So it's not the consistency, it's not the actual art, it's
the business.
So I always tell, here's one of the things I say. I'm always talking about people who post nonstop on social media. And I said, posting on social media is not a marketing strategy. You don't post until you know, what do I want this piece of content to do, right? It's a business. So last night I was teaching a group of entrepreneurs, and I said the biggest mental shift you have to make is that you're not a person on social media, you're a business on social media as a person, right? You're not just a person, you're a business on social media as a person. So I said, if that is the case, then you understand it from a business standpoint. What is the marketing activity? No business grows without marketing and sales. So what you're saying is, it's not just getting really good at photography. It's not getting good at graphic design. It's learning how to market so people can actually know you're good at it.
That's it. And if you dope at what you do, plus that, and you're a genuine person, it's just going to go.
Yeah.
But you got to understand it ain't just going to go overnight. See, I've been doing this 13 years nonstop. I left my 9 to 5 in 2010. I have not worked, but some people just not realizing me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I was okay with being behind the scene. So for 10 years, I was behind the scene, and I did not want to be in front of the scene. Right? So I like to do the work.
Yeah.
And so a year and a half ago, my wife said, jump in front. And so I jumped in front because I was helping build people to 7 figures, 8 figures, but their integrity wasn't there. And when your integrity ain't there, I don't want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
Because I got 4 values, and we got a family creed. Number 1 is integrity. Number 2 is unity. Number 3 is courage. And number 4 is legacy.
We got to unpack that. We got your family values. This is what you're instilling in your family.
Yes.
This is beyond the content. This is beyond the money. What's those 4 values?
Number 1 is integrity.
Okay.
We'll never sell our integrity for no opportunity in the world. Number 2, unity. We will never do it by ourselves. We will always do it together. And anybody around, you don't got to be blood to be family, but we're going to do it together. And number 3, we're going to have the courage to always speak up and never mute our voice no matter what. No matter if it hurts, no matter if we'll never mute our voice. So we'll have the courage. And number 4 is every seed that we plant today ain't for today. It's for 20 years down the line. We're building all of this for our family and our legacy to eat from.
Ooh, that's good stuff. Give me 1 second. Let me steal that.
Yeah, you know.
No, I think it's great, man. I do something. I wouldn't even say similar to my family. I'm constantly talking about what I call the Rose Your Big Four, and mine is number 1 is what pleases God, but it's listed as a question, right? Yeah. So it allows you to guide yourself. It's not just a statement. So the question each day is a statement, at night is a question. Did I do what pleased God? Number 2 is what I'm gifted at and love doing. It's not enough to do what pleases God if I hate doing it. Right? So what I'm gifted at, the gift that He gave me and love doing. And number 3 is what helps people, and number 4, what pays me well. Right? So that's our Rose Your Big Four. We always want to do those 4 things. I think it's dope when hearing yours too. I like that legacy piece though. What we're doing is not for today.
And I'm on a real thing because you met my kids at the event, but my daughter's name is Journey and my son is named Legacy. We are on a journey to help people build their legacy. See, I'm not just talking about it, I'm really living it, and I'm instilling it in my kids now.
Yeah.
Now.
How old are your kids?
4 and 1.
I've got to pause really quick before we get back into the episode to give you access to a free gift that I have for you. Well, chances are there's some knowledge that you know or service that you are already doing. And I tell people, if you are doing any service or have knowledge in your head, you should be able to automate that to generate revenue on the side, whether you're cutting hair. Well, while you're cutting hair, what if you could take the same knowledge and skill and automate that to show someone else how to do it? You generate revenue while also helping others. Well, I created a free training that literally shows you how to package your knowledge and your services into an automated online course. Well, now instead of giving someone access to your time or letting them take you out to coffee, you can give them access to your thoughts. Without your time, it generates money for you, but it also helps other people. So you can type www.monetizewithmarcus.com and you can get access to a free video training that shows you how to do it. Let's get back to the episode.
Man, what advice would you give me? So you know, I'm about to be a father, have my first child. What advice would you give me? Because I think it'll echo to anyone else who already has kids. And this is a conversation many people don't have, because with entrepreneurship, we get so caught up on our brainchild and not our actual children, right? So we nurture the business, we nurture the staff, we nurture our ideas, and sometimes we can abandon our actual physical seed, and we forget what we're doing it for. So what advice would you give me as a father, as well as to other people who already have kids that want to get back into their life or they're about to start a family?
I'm going to start before the child. Can I talk about your wife?
Question.
Right, number one thing is pour into your wife, right? And I know we pour into them, but when they giving birth and they having birth to the child, they whole everything change. Postpartum is so real, right? And so just making sure mental is together with your wife, making sure they rebuild internal, because that's a lot. And I think that's the number one thing. Before we get to the seed, make sure you build your queen, right? And keep it going, because that moment we happy about the baby, but then it's like we got to remember that they got to come back. And it takes them a little time to build. So making sure we feed into their mind, body, and spirit 100%. And then in a child, making sure that we give time. I think that's the biggest thing, because we get to turn it into, I say, a beast and a monster. When you have a child, you turn to a beast. You like, I got to go get it. But make sure you make time. Like for me, I don't even work on the weekends. I don't work, and I don't shoot after 12 p.m. So every day, if you want, when we shooting content for our clients, we only shoot early in the morning, right? Because when my kids get out of school, like they daycare and stuff, I want to spend time with them. And I make sure I'm so close, because I lost so much time, because I'm like, I got to go get it. And so I just understand just spending more time with your seed and instilling your values, you know what I'm saying? And allowing them to have their voice, right? Because a lot of times people our voice get muted as kids. And so everybody around me, you cannot mute my kids. Now, we're going to make sure it's guided right, but you can't mute them. You can't tell them what they can't do. I will cuss you out no matter where we at. Like, no matter, we can be in church. I'm going to cuss you. Don't do that.
I love it.
Like if they wrong, but don't mute them. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the biggest thing, just spending more time with your seed, letting them come into their personality, and making sure that your queen, full everything, temple, everything is put back together, because that time is so vulnerable, because they having thoughts that you will never think that they'll have. But sometimes we so focused on the seed that we not focused on the creative, the person who's creating it, you know what I'm saying? And so I think that's a big thing with that.
I love it. I love it, man. Number one, you just added value to me, so I know you added value to so many others. We got to get into the content. But I want to go back and then go forward. You mentioned the difference between an entrepreneur and a creative entrepreneur. I think that we got to go to that before we go into the 100%. Content. What do you feel like, what is the distinction? How do you define the difference? And what do you think we should be? Like, I think as a leader in the space, you feel as if we all should be creative entrepreneurs. What does that look like?
A servant leader, right? See, creative entrepreneur, we servant leaders. Whoever you believe in, at your top believe in. But we leading. We got to lead the people to the right place. Otherwise, we'll lead them off a cliff, right? And just being an entrepreneur, that don't mean you got any values or integrity. That just means you care. You got a business. You got an LLC. That don't make nothing special about you. Everybody can start that. Costs $100, right? Like, anybody can start that. But to have a purpose and to have something that's bigger than you, that you're willing to sacrifice you for to help a bigger cause, shows something different. And so creative entrepreneurs, you will always create an opportunity even when you can't find one. And so I push more people to be creative entrepreneurs. Understand your purpose, understand your calling, and go for it. Because life be lifing.
True story.
Life be lifing, and then when life happens, people get distracted. But that's why your purpose got to be so strong that it fuel you to get through it. Otherwise, you'll stop and get stagnant. And then you'll be like, yeah, I'm a business owner, but I'm a business owner. I've been a business owner for 10 years, but my business ain't moved. Your business ain't moved because you ain't moved. Right? You still stuck. You still conditioned in being comfortable. You scared to get stretched. Marcus, when I tell you to do the event, it was scary. First of all, because I'm putting all my money up first, and I don't know if somebody gonna show up, right? Right,
Yeah.
and I'm learning as I'm going. But when I tell you, the devil was attempting to distract me, and when he was like, man, this happened, that happened, and I still got to get focused because I'm like, hold up, it's something telling me to do it because in 90 days, so November it was 90 days. I built the community, I built the merchandise, and I did an event. I started an event in 90 days, all at the same time.
Yeah.
And so my focus was really, really building something bigger because I've been building individuals for a decade. Now I'm building communities, you know, and every time I go to church, I get prophesized. And I go to different churches, and when I go to different churches, they prophesize me, and they all say I'm going to lead the people. They say I'm bold enough, right? They say my calling and all the barriers is gone. And I said, well, God gave me the call. I picked up the phone, right? I answered the call, so now I'm going all in. But the blessing for me is, for the last decade, I've been putting all my own money up.
Yeah.
So I ain't scared to invest.
Yeah.
I ain't scared to take the risk. I ain't scared to have a vision and really see it through. And so that's what I do.
Man, and you can see the result of it. Seeing the breakthroughs in the room, it didn't feel like just a conference.
Yes.
From the tears to the community, when I walked in, the energy of the room, I walk on stage and it's like, oh, y'all lit.
Yeah.
You know, what I love is the DJ's in there. So I walk on stage and the DJ play that music. I be getting to the money, right? Everybody, man, like DJ plays the music in the middle of it. Like it was an experience, right?
Yes.
I would make a certain point from stage and he would drop a sound bite and just all the nuance, the music, from the music to the lighting, to the screens, to the visuals, the aesthetics, every part of it was beyond excellent. Let's go to this content piece, man. Like, I'm seeing what you were able to do, and I saw a segment of the conference where you had each person in real time get up and come on stage and deliver content. So you didn't just let them sit and write notes. You made them come up on stage, and I saw some was nervous, on down the line, but you pushed them out of their comfort zone. So it was this mental breakthrough, this clarity, but that's true leadership.
Yeah.
So in terms of content, what are some do's, some don'ts, some strategy, some context? Like, what's some of the things you teach regarding content?
Man, I teach people how to break that shyness and get on the camera and come as their authentic self, right? And stop overthinking, right? Because we overthink and procrastinate, and when we procrastinate, we be thinking we planning, but we just procrastinate. And so literally stop overthinking and being confident, and not just being confident, understand who you serving, who your message for, right? Your message ain't for everybody. And don't get mad when people don't receive it.
Yeah.
Because it ain't for them. Let them miss the call, right? And so literally getting on camera and being consistent with their purpose and going nonstop. Because I believe, you know, sometimes if people archive their stuff, if it don't perform right. And I don't care about that. I say likes and views kill self-esteem. So we ain't.
Wait. What just happened now?
Right. I believe likes and views kill self-esteem.
Man.
Because if you don't get enough likes and views, you're going to archive that thing. Or you're going to think your message ain't worth it. And you're going to stop doing what you could have been consistently doing because it didn't get enough likes and views. But you didn't realize that the people that's on your page right now, the message ain't for them. See, you too busy attempting to, I got to do some push-ups when I get done because I don't use that T word. But literally, you attempting to push this message on them when it ain't for them. And so I say, keep putting the message out. Keep going. It's going to start echoing because the people that the message is supposed to hear are going to start coming in.
Yeah.
But you got to give it time. They don't give enough time. It's too instant right now for people.
Yeah.
Marcus, I've been doing it for 13 years. I ain't in no rush. 13 years. And so it's like, yo, I done seen people come and go. I understand what it's like. We see somebody hot on Instagram and we like, oh, they the king of the king. They going to disappear in 6 months.
Yeah.
Because it happened too fast. They don't know how to deal with it. They don't know how to build. They took too many shortcuts. They don't understand the blueprint. So I'd rather create the blueprint. And so anybody that's creating content, I tell them just create the blueprint. Take your time, learn. Keep going, keep investing in here. Keep putting out here. Keep letting your voice go there. Just keep creating.
I love it. What I love about what you're saying, you're not just talking about somebody picking up a cell phone, looking at a cell phone, but you're talking about a person looking inside their heart.
Yeah.
You're not talking about looking into a camera and then waiting on people to vote on you with likes and comments.
100%.
Right? You're saying that this is not just the creation of content, it's the creation of a person. And that person getting their cues from their creator is now figuring that out and saying, I'm going to share with you. Is one of the concepts I teach is this idea I teach called the mirror effect. And what I'm explaining is, when you post something online, it's nothing more than a mirror of how you see yourself. So when people say, I vibe with you, what they're saying is you took an aspect of how you see yourself, because when you record the content, you're looking at you. When you go live, you're looking at you. You don't see them until you upload the content.
100%. And then I'd be so thrown off because it's like, yo, why are you scared when you in a room by yourself? Who you hiding from? Who you lying to? That means you lying to yourself if you scared to turn on this camera and talk your talk because you the only one in the room.
Ooh. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You just turned me to Shanae. Remember the episode with Martin charging for the fight? Yo. You're saying so many things that I echo, I ditto, I agree. And here's why I love this. I believe this is going to help so many people. Because some are looking for the next strategy when it's not just strategy. It's, let me say it this way, one of the strategies that nobody ever teaches is self-esteem. And never realize how self-esteem is connected to quality of content, right? So in this new economy, I'll tell people, like, the new strategy is to actually get good at what you do.
That's it. You get obsessed.
Everybody don't see that as a strategy. They no, tell me how to do this, and this. Someone asked me recently, like, man, I watched you 3 different times speak and not use notes. What's the strategy? Get really good at what you do.
That's it. It's an internal framework. It's internal.
Clear communication comes from a clear mind. So if you're cluttered in here, you can't be clear. There's too many voices. They want to sound like Dontell, want to sound like Marcus, sound like this person. Well, there's too many voices in there. So a part of that is studying your own voice and being able to project that out. That's in essence what you're saying.
Yeah, so I go in and I rebuild your whole self-image. So we go in and I take everything out and rebuild you. And so that's why it's nobody on earth that create content like me, because it's bigger than posting 3 times a day.
I absolutely love what you're doing. And I will say this, I honor the fact that for your first event, you reached out to me and said, I want you to be a part. And knowing how important your community is to you and how important your vision is, for you to see me as a part of that. What was that thing? What was the reason you wanted me to be a part?
I watched you and I'm like, he is the truth. Like, first of all, I think I put you on the wrong day. Right? Everybody was like, yo, if you would have put Marcus on day 2, right, it could have been a whole, like, he set the room up unlike anybody else, right? You said, like, I'm like, if you would have gave an offer right there, you would have took the room.
Wow.
You would have took the room. You set the room. And I said, hold up, I did put Marcus on the wrong day. Right, not the wrong day, but I wanted you, like, you and Runway set the vibe for the event.
Yeah.
Because some people had to throw their presentations away after y'all hit the stage. They like, they teaching. What you thought this was?
Yeah.
I asked everybody to come and teach.
Someone said that to me. They was like, bro, you just really taught. I was like, what else are we supposed to do?
Yo.
Like, what else are we supposed to do but teach and give the game? But here's what I would say, and it's not, I'm sorry not to cut you off. I was thinking about my approach coming into it. A part of me wanted to sow the seed that I want to reap with my event. Yes. So I wanted to sow, like, supporting your vision. So the first thing I said to you was, what do you need?
That's it. Facts.
I didn't want to come in and say, I got a ton to teach. Yes. I could have come in and talked about what I do in my offer, but people would have looked at me. My goal was, how do I say something that makes them look at Dontell, not look at me, right? Which is totally different. Whereas some people come to your event and they're trying to get their best content off, never thinking, like, bro, I'm trying to do something and build something so it did towards the people, so I adjusted. And even the day of, right before I went on to speak.
100%. You like, let me make sure this, like, you made sure, like, what is this? All right, what's the goal? Let me make, like, and I really, like, appreciate that, because you sat there and made sure, like, I want to make sure I give value to the room. But that's the reason why I asked you, because you authentic. Like, ain't no fairy tales. Like, you really you. Right, but every single person I ask, I know that they really care about the people.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm like, my event's only for the people. I don't care about popularity. I don't care about none of that.
Yeah.
I never cared about people's names because that can't put my kids through college, right? So I really care about impact. So it's like, you already impacting. Every single individual already impacting. Now we impacting together.
Yeah.
I'm like, I really wanted the people that really behind the scenes come and teach.
Yeah.
Because we the ones that's really doing it. So the people in front of the scenes are just, puppets.
Yeah.
But we really doing it, and I want us to really come in. When I say I thank God 100%, because all of y'all really genuinely came. Nobody was like, yo, here go my speaker fee.
Yeah.
Here, take care of my speaker fee. We can talk about it. Nobody did. They said, what's the date? What's the time?
Yeah.
And I was like, wow.
We got to speak to that, right? Collaboration. Like at this point in all of our lives, all of us build on our own. All of us do well. We all make money. So the question. So he's speaking up. He called me. Don't worry about no fee. Don't worry about no nothing. I pulled up.
Yeah.
Spoke for an hour.
Yes.
Which anyone who knows, like, it's at that point of the journey as well as yourself, we get paid well to speak, to do presentations, trainings. For someone listening, this is where relationship and integrity is important, and alignment. Because I realized, number one, it was much bigger than anything else.
Yes.
My thought was, I know what I get paid. I know what I do.
Yeah.
How can I sew this into that person?
Yes.
I saw it so much bigger to contribute to the vision of what you were doing, and to say, how do I give the ultimate value to make sure this man has what he needs? And all of us came on that same assignment, on that same type of time.
Yes.
Where we were all there to add value to the people, but most importantly to support you. But this speaks to this. Everything that I'm hearing you say today, in terms of your integrity, your alignment, you couldn't reap everyone. Some people flew in on their own dime.
90, like one person probably.
Right? So
two people.
Right? So came in, was willing to come and contribute for free. You couldn't ask people to be that if you wasn't that. You would have been stealing.
Yeah.
I believe in the principle of reciprocity.
100%.
You can't ask people for favors when you're not the type of person that gives favors.
100%.
If not, you're stealing from them.
Yes. You stealing from earth. Right? It's a book I love called The Go-Giver. Right? And it teaches you about the cycle of giving. Mm-hmm. And a lot of us don't understand. It's like we was taught younger, like, oh, if you give, don't think about receiving. But the way life work, if I give, you receive. Yeah. So you have to be open to receive. But if you was closed to receive, then I wouldn't have been able to give. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, just like when you hit me, I'm like, I'm there.
Yeah.
Well, no, I don't care about I'm there.
Yeah.
What you want? No, you didn't do that to me.
Yeah.
I don't care what the traffic could have been 3 hours. I'm there. If you want me to fly out, we can go in. I'm there.
Wow.
You did not do that to me. So I'm not going to ever do that to you, ever. We indebted for life. I'm indebted to y'all for life. Right? I'm one of them type of people.
You know you're speaking at my event, right? When I do my event,
give me the date and time. Like it's even like, and I'm like that.
Yeah.
Like, because I'm grateful. Like I remember every single thing somebody did for me.
Yeah.
That's why I told you I did not get here by myself. So many people poured into me, and I will for continue to pour into people. Like my mission different from everybody else. Like, I'm really here to impact the world. That ain't just a song. We gonna impact the world for real.
Sheesh. How do people connect with you, work with you? And I also want to make sure most people hearing us talk about the content boot camp, and they're like, man, I missed it. So another one is coming up in August, right?
August, yes.
What's the dates on that event?
August 25th to the 27th. And this time, I actually built it a little different, right? Because I'm like, I want them to learn more, right? So I like, so now we broke it down. We got some speaking, but then we got implementation settings, 2 hours. Here, then we got speaking, then we got implementation settings, 2 hours. So it's like we really about to implement the hands-on right there.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
I'm not playing. Like, you know how people like, well, if you give them all the stuff, they ain't gonna want no more. No, they gonna want more. They gonna want more. It's like, don't be stingy.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give. I'm here to give. You know what I'm saying? And if that's all they needed for that moment to catapult their career, that's what they came for.
August 25th through the 27th. Where is it at? Here in Atlanta?
In Atlanta.
August 25th through the 27th in Atlanta. If you have not, I can vouch for it. Yeah. Get your tickets to this event. Like,
we sold 75 tickets in 72 hours.
Wow. So we almost at capacity already.
Oh no, we went up to a bigger room this time.
Oh, gotcha. Moving on up.
And I'm coming for, like, you know, I ain't gonna call everybody out, but the people that really, like, you know what I'm saying, you know, hey, you know, we're gonna talk, but I really want, like, you, when I say everybody pulled into the people was excited. Marcus, they like, I can't believe this your first event. You lying to us.
Yeah.
I just been in so many rooms. I knew what I did not like. And I knew what I wanted in the rooms. But I realized the only way that can happen is if we create the stage.
Yeah.
That was it. And it was hard. It was scary now. It was scary now. I ain't gonna lie.
You know I'm calling you and asking advice, vendors, all that.
Yes, I'm giving it to you. Everything you ask. Like, even what this, watch out for this. AB gonna rape you.
Watch out for AV.
AB, they gonna rape you now. Like, that much for a stage?
Yeah.
And a speaker? All right.
Man, August 25th through 27th, Content Boot Camp.
Content Impact.
Oh, don't forget the Impact.
Yes.
Boot Camp here in Atlanta, Georgia. Please tell them how to connect with you on social media and anywhere else. How can they find you?
So you can go look at me on Instagram, Dontell Antonio. That's Dontell Antonio. And just find me over there. Interact with me. Interact with my content. I follow back. I interact back. I don't know nothing about none of that other stuff. Don't call me no influence. Don't call me no celebrity. I am a servant leader, and I'm here to lead. I don't care about none of that. We all up.
I love it. Make sure you connect with my brother, Dontell. You got to add it, the king
of content.
Of content, man.
Before we exit, I know you about to exit out. Marcus, can I thank you?
Wow.
Can I thank you for being you, your authentic self, and pouring into people, for showing up, like, for understanding when to pivot, when to grow. And like, every person that I know that's in your programs, they don't do nothing but talk highly. They say, oh, he the truth. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Right? And so your spirit, everything that you stand for is really you stand for. And I just want to thank you first.
Yeah.
You know, before you exit out, I just want to thank you and keep doing it. And your integrity is everything.
Yeah.
You know, everything, King. And I'm grateful to be a part of your journey.
Real, man. I appreciate you. I receive it. And mutual. Watching what you're doing, impacting people with content, and what we're doing here. This is why we need more collaboration. Yes. More of us need to lead the charge. You put a battery in my pack, I got to lead better. I got to lead better.
Man, you good. I ain't gonna lie. This man said everybody in the same lane. I got to get off on the next exit. Like, I'm like, hold up.
Oh, you're going to dig us back into it. We were on IG Live going in about the importance of staying in your lane.
Yes.
We gotta do more of this, man. Whether it's a virtual something, like, it's time. My lady keeps aggravating me, in a good way, about doing an event
in person.
She keeps saying it. She's like, "You had everybody's event. You didn't do an event." So
what's the date? Right now,
I'm looking at June.
June what?
I wanted to do May, but we're having our baby May 4th. So
okay, don't do that.
Let's do a month after.
You sure? She needs 6 weeks to heal.
Second week of June.
What's that date? Look at your phone. You got two phones right there.
Let's go June. Let's go.
How many days you doing?
We're going to go 2. And so it'll be, I'm looking at Friday, Saturday, and that Sunday I want to do a faith and business brunch.
That's hard. Yeah. So it's really 3.
Yeah. So this would be June. If we go the first week. Ooh.
No, you said second.
I like the first weekend. It's the second, third, and fourth. Like the first weekend.
All right, but remember, people just not getting their money. They got to pay their bills.
All right,
be cautious.
So let's go to 9th, 10th, and 11th.
All right, 9th, 10th, and 11th. It's in stone. I'm there. Whatever day you want.
I love it.
I'm coming out 3 just because you was coming. See.
I need to hook up on the apparel. Like,
yeah.
I wear this sweatsuit, the quality, everything, the T-shirt. I had to tell my lady right away because she tried to steal all the stuff I get at it.
I give it to her too. Like, it's a wrap. I'm gonna send
do
the pack.
A medium, a gray.
All right, yeah. I get.
I was gonna have 2 of them.
No, I got you. Like, that's nothing. I'll get that to you tomorrow.
Oh, my man, $100,000.
I'll Uber it to you. It's easy.
I'll pull it up.
I'll pull up. That's it. Tomorrow, I'm giving it to you tomorrow. Well, tell me what you need.
Say no more. This has been another phenomenal episode. My man, Dontell, you got my head spinning, bro. The things you hit on leadership, your core values, this is why I rock with you. I hope that you've had extreme value out of this, because it's more that this is a masterclass on leadership, on content, on integrity, on relationship, friendship, So many things that he gave that literally gave impact. So I hope that you get value out of this. Make sure that you follow and connect with Dontell, the king of content. Well, if you need me, you know where to find me. I'll be over here minding my online business. I'll see you in the next episode.